think of content creation as just taking a photo, posting it on social media, then boom, a check comes along. But there's so much more that goes into content creation. How can you make a living out of content creation so that you're not just famous and broke? Well, this week on She Means Business, we are interviewing Celestine Ndinda, and she's telling us about the business behind content creation. Look out for it. I am your host, Munde. So today we're going to be having a conversation with Celestine Ndinda, aka Wakavinye. But before that, as you can see, I have a splendid set around me. We are filming at the Dusit Princess Hotel. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Celestine. Welcome.
Drum rolls. Thank you, Claire. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you. So Celestine, you're in the creative space, and a lot of people are looking to get into the creative space because they look at the glitz and the glamour and they see people posting stuff on Instagram and whatnot, and they think it's an easy route to get money. But I'd like you to tell us about the business aspect of it. What does it take to get into the content creation space? And is there a difference between being a content creator, an influencer, and is it something that somebody can make a living out of?
Yes, it is something that someone can make a living out of. Is there money? Yes. I'm not going to say
Yeah.
There is money, because you see, like in my family, that's what we do, both of us, both the dad and the mom. That's what we do. We are content creators. Is there a difference between a content creator and an influencer? I feel yes. Personally, I create content. I normally refer to myself as a content creator as opposed to an influencer. If I influence you in a way, either positively or negatively, then maybe one is an influencer. But me, I know I create content for a living. The truth is, there is money, but there's also work. It's a job like any other job. The same way you wake up, go to your office, tidy up your desk, unajibu emails. It's the same way content creators do. So either I'm having this campaign from a client because the client has seen the impact I'm having in the society. So I've been approached by a certain client to maybe endorse something. Just as you said, we're in a beautiful space. Do you see it? You've endorsed the space. So if a client sees there's value, there's an opportunity with this brand, then they'll bring in the money. So that's when we say there's money. So you find yourself, I was doing content for fun, just having fun every other day, showing you how I get ready, styling my outfits, you know. It is fun, but there's work, because that person took in time to dress maybe different outfits. Then here comes a client who is selling clothes. So you see there's money. Yeah, so there's work, there's money, there's, depending on,
how you approach it.
Exactly.
So maybe let's talk about how you approach it, because many people just look at social media and they just say, as you said, someone is dressing up nicely, it looks like you just post that and business comes in. But let's talk about that business aspect of it. How do you go about saying that, okay, this is something that I want to venture into, just like somebody goes to work every day, this is the line of work that I want to do?
I feel like content creation may explode sana during 2020. Then, because people consumed so much content during that time. So for me, how it came about was I was helping Jugush, could record content. Then all of a sudden, guys were like, want to see this person who's always behind the camera. Then Nika came in front of the camera. It was fun. It was all fun, passion, kakituka funny tuna shoot, until the first client came in and was like, I want to pay you. Muniweke product kwa hizo video zenu. So you see, hatukufuata mutaratara from anywhere. It just came about, someone is willing to pay. So someone is willing to put in money, yet we do it for fun. But now you see, after your brand has grown, now you need to know this is a business. So say it's not for fun. Whether there's money or not, you need to create content.
Absolutely.
So you don't need to do it because someone has paid me. Because now you have a wide audience. Wantaka kuona matugi, today what are you wearing? Today what are you doing? So it has become a lifestyle, like daily. Amka, create content, sleep. The same way a doctor is amka, enda kazi, tibu wagonjwa. So it has become a business, because that's like my core business, creating content. So yeah, so there's no step by step.
No formula.
But if there's something, maybe it's cooking, do it. Then the brand will grow, then the clients will come, then it becomes a business.
So there are two things I'd like to follow up from that. Now, first thing is that, yes, you are doing it for fun and then someone approached you and said, let's put a product and I'll pay you. How does someone know how to price themselves appropriately? Because different people have different number of followers, they give different value. So how do you make sure that you're not underpricing yourself or you're pricing yourself out of the market? And then the second thing I think that I'd like us to talk about is how do you ensure authenticity? Because yes, you wake up, you're doing your makeup, you do what you wear and whatnot, you show maybe your family is going somewhere. How do you strike a balance between I am pushing a certain product and I'm still keeping it real?
Let me start with the authenticity part, authenticity. I feel like for me, how I've maintained being me is just, when I started, it was just me. You see, when you started, you didn't start because of a client. It was just me with my normal life. I didn't think that my normal life people would want to watch it. So I was just being me. So I feel like when you continue being you, like I know there are things that I can't do. Because growing up, I didn't grow up with these things. I know there are things, I know right from wrong. I know this is not me. And if I do what is not me, hata wewe mwenye huta consume, uta feel,
no, it's not really. Yeah.
No, I'd rather approach it from a point of, I want to try out this. I've never done it. Unaona?
Yeah.
That's me being truthful.
Yeah.
Sijaifanya. Let me go for, is it skydiving?
Yes.
That is content, but sijaifanya. But if I go for skydiving, like, guys, this is how you do skydiving, even you will see I'm lying. So I feel like if you do, you can feel it when you're lying. You can feel it when I'm being me. Nitasikia tu enyewe ya Cele. Nimedanganya. Atina mkanga nikik. So for me, that is what has worked. If I feel like posting my kids too much, if I feel like this is okay for me to do, then if I feel it's not, I'm not sure, then I won't. The other part is how do we price ourselves?
Yeah.
Aki hapo hadi wa leo ni kama hata mimi I struggle.
It's still a work in progress.
Yeah, I feel like we need to, if we had that association, like your chama cha content, tuambiwe this is the cutout, don't go below, it will work. Because for me right now what I do is I make sure the client has catered for maybe the scripting, my time there, the people who are going to be producing this content, is their location. So if I have all those overheads covered, then that's how I feel, even though the little I know up to now. Up to now, that's what I know. But I still feel like tunataka mtu atusaidie on a cutout. Like madaktari kuna...
Yes, you know? There's no moving below this.
Because every time I think of me being a content creator, I like comparing myself to any other profession out there that is working. Kama daktari. I'm sure there's ukiemploy daktari kuna mahali unaanzia. So the same thing I feel it should be for us content creators. Tukakuwa na chama ama an umbrella.
Exactly.
That says if you have these numbers and this is the highest, and this is the lowest. Bado tunangangana there.
I think that's very interesting. And you know, you said that you look at your overheads first and then now you price from there. But then now you said, let's say your time. How do you price time? You know, these are some of the things that are very difficult for people to think about. And it's not just in the content creation space. It's just maybe consultants and stuff like that. So yes, you have your people and whatnot, but then how do you price your time? You know, like these are things that people struggle with.
I think for me, time comes in when I think of how long I have been doing it. For
experience.
My experience. Because the same way I'm going to say no to this brand, by the time I'm saying yes to this person, then it's either something that I have been, well, what after you, Claire. I'm really trying to get that example right. But there has to be an aspect of, for how long have I been doing this thing? To some point, kuna ile nika umemaster.
Yes.
Not 100%, but I'm not where I was a few years ago.
Yeah.
So even my rate right now, see the same na ile a few years ago.
Yeah.
A few years ago nilikuwa na shoot na simu.
Yes.
Sikuwa naangalia TO, sijui I edit out, sijui nini.
Yes.
Right now you're using cameras, like evolved over time.
Yeah.
So I feel you know time. When I say time, that is the time.
In terms of experience.
In terms of, yes, and also in terms of
mastery.
Yes.
Okay.
And now it attributes to how much.
Now you've talked a little bit about during your content creation journey, sometimes maybe you'll put your children here and there. How do you strike the balance between putting your children out there and maintaining safety? Because this is a key concern that comes up a lot. You know, there are people who, you know, steal images and whatnot. So how do you strike the balance between, yes, this is my normal life, with my children out for lunch or whatever, and at the same time, like, being aware that what you're putting out there, you don't know who is taking what? Well,
I love that. My number one answer will be, there are things you cannot control. Like there are things, I'll choose, I'm working with this X brand. It is kid friendly. Yeah. So my baby, of course, maybe my baby has been paid. So we are doing the video as mom, son, mom, kid moment. So for that, we are going to do it because it's a kid-friendly brand. There are brands that I know automatically si ya watoto.
Yeah.
So that one I choose, mtoto atakuwa kwa hiyo video. Una get? Hiyo ni ya mom.
Yeah.
Then there is what I can't. There are just times I'm having a good time with my kids. I choose to post.
Yeah.
If someone atafikiria achukue afanye, I feel like some things I just leave them to God.
Yeah.
Because I can't control everything. Unfortunately, or fortunately, not even unfortunately, fortunately my kids are out there. It's for the good. The reason why I can say for me, 90% ni for the good. They are not out there in a bad way. The same way my mom kitambo tuseme angekuwa na duka ya mboga, angenifunza kuuza.
Yes.
Mtu akikujia kitungu ya 10 bob, akikupea mbao, peana 10. Amenifunza what she knew.
Yeah.
Just the other businesses unapatanga dadi ameniachia lori leo ni mpeleke kwa shamba. Yeah. It's the same thing I'm doing with my kids. I know content creation.
Yeah.
So if I can teach him, and you see, it's sustaining our lives. Like we can afford to live day by day because of content creation.
Yeah.
So to say even me, I'm trying to nurture them. If this can work out for him, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So I'm more focused on the positive side. Like if my kid gets to understand how to hold a camera, record mama, then mama does the same, then we do a vlog that is interesting, then YouTube revenue is coming in, I'd be happy. But the rest, if they take my kids' images and do what, I can't control.
True.
I think the rest I leave it to God.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And now you've talked about YouTube. Maybe we can talk about that a bit, because sometimes there are people who say, you know, you think you can make millions and millions out of YouTube. Tell us, how true is that in your experience? And also, as you're making this money, you said it can sustain you as your family. Both of you are both in content creation. How do you now reinvest that money to make sure that it's multiplied?
I'll start with the second one again, the finance bit. How do we make that money? I feel like even for me as a person, that is one thing I'm struggling in at. So the much I'm doing right now is looking for financial advisors who will tell me where to take this money to. Because this is a pro. As I said, tukianza, we never thought someone will bring in money into this. We never thought someone will pay you to do what you love doing. So right now that the money is coming, I need someone to advise me on channels. Is it money market? Is it matatu business? Is it build up apartments? Is it... I need someone to advise me on that. So I feel like it gets to a point, if you feel like this is what I need, you will look for that someone. So that is something that we, with my partner, we have done, ama we are doing. Ku-advisiwa, which is the best place. And I feel even any other career out there, if you have a lot of money, ama, not even a lot, if you have money and you want it to, you know, grow, you'll get to a point ibidi utafute tu mse mwenye anajua hizi vitu. Because sometimes you start a career nicely, pesa inakuja, you're like, okay. Juu wanasema, when it sits at the bank, it's not really helping you. So it gets to that, when you get to that point, you're asking yourself, sasa ido. Juu content creation inaweza amka kesho nipate haiko. Which other channels? Ama where can I put this money for it to multiply?
Yeah.
So hapo bado tuna struggle, but with the help of a few people who know these things, unajipata ukitry Zex. Trying is the only way you'll know.
True.
If it's working or not.
Okay.
For the million parts,
yes.
for the millions,
yeah.
I haven't made millions from YouTube yet, but yes, people make millions from YouTube. That's true.
Okay.
People make a lot of money
from YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So if you do it, don't do it for the money, if I may say. Utachoka. Because I've said there are millions of money, don't do it for the money. If you have that thing that unaweza fanya hata usiku clear, if I tell you wake up, I need an episode for She Means Business,
yeah,
and you can do it without complaining, do it, then that way it'll come to millions. But not I'm doing it because I want the millions. That, yeah. You'll get tired. Because the millions come over a period of time. You won't start today alafu the millions come in. Wow. But if you have that thing, manze hii nafanyanga tu niki, you know, I'm not pushed. Yeah. I'm not forced. I'm enjoying doing it. I am laughing if it's dancing. Yes. Imagine the millions will, even without you knowing, tashtukia, we? Kumbe. Kumbe there was money.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of your biggest mistakes in your content creation journey, and specifically in the financial element of it. You said you're still learning as you go, but what has been one of those big mistakes when it comes to you made money and maybe you didn't manage it well, or just not going through the process properly? Maybe you signed a contract and you're like, was this my worth? What has been one of those things?
That's a good one. One of my biggest money mistakes. Okay. When we were starting, as we've said, we still don't know how much to quantify for what we do, because everyone thinks that ulishika tu simu, umedance tu, umevaa tu nguo, you know, until they see what work we put into getting all this content. So when we were starting, I think the one mistake I made was a client comes in, anataka kuwekelea do, anataka hii product in these videos that you're doing. Then I'm thinking, nitamuitisha how much? Sai nataka kulipa rent.
Yeah.
Rent ni 20. Wacha tupe 20. You see?
Just a random
figure until you realize, you know what? This video is here 10 years later, 5 years later.
Yeah.
But you see, those are lessons. Again, those mistakes are life lessons. So I think that was one mistake. Yeah. Do you quit to a need that I want right now?
Yeah.
Right now I want what? Nataka mafuta, fuel. When ipatie 25K. Then later on I'm like, wait. But it took time. I had someone to pay who recorded me. You know where we went, I bought maybe water.
Yeah.
So hizi vitu zote, why am I fuel and then?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So I feel like that's a mistake I made, which it was a lesson. Contracts, luckily, I think contracts nilifunzwa na nani kusoma. Yeah. Also contracts, yeah. There are words, perpetuity, what. Kuna words.
Yeah.
Kuna words you learn the hard way.
Yeah.
But yeah, over time you learn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, as we conclude, maybe you could give some advice to somebody who's looking to get into the content creation space. What are some of the do's and don'ts? You've talked about like those contracts, those terms that into perpetuity and whatnot that you end up like, did I sign this? So what are some of those do's and don'ts? And you also talked about, I like the way you said that your need right now, you needed that 20K and you sold yourself short. How do you go about it? Talk to somebody who's just entering because they feel like, I don't have the experience, what's my portfolio? And also talk to somebody who's experienced what to do and what not to do.
I think I'm going to talk to who? I'm going to talk to myself. Back in the day. Yeah. I love referring to myself because you see, it's about me. About me won't be relevant, applicable to exactly,
I get
relevant to the word. You know the word. So, to me, when I was starting, well, hapo kwa perpetuity and the contracts and whatnot, I think over time, you learn how to get a lawyer, ama someone to advise you, those people who understand those terms. Because even me, when I was starting, I didn't know ati contract. Ulikuwa unasoma tu kwa money, kwa pesa, kwa deliverables, until kuna heavy jargons in between. So for that one, just get someone. Lawyers, not all lawyers are that pricey. I'ma get someone who can advise you, a friend who understands those clauses. So yeah, iyo ya contract. And also, if it's possible, don't commit yourself into any business without a contract. I feel like that is one mistake we once made back in the day. Word of WhatsApp. Now WhatsApp.
But I thought WhatsApp can be used in court these days.
Still, I wouldn't want to get to... I'd rather email. Like any conversation you're having, someone on phone, ama nini, go back to the email as our conversation. Like have everything you said on phone.
Written. Document.
Document. I feel like that is another mistake. Hatukuwa tunajua. But right now, even if you call me right now, Claire.
Yes.
And we discuss everything on phone and we agree on phone, automatically email tu katakufuata.
True.
Just to be safe, because emails are there to stay. Emails are there to stay. So that is one thing. Iyo naweza kwambia for sure. If the Celestine knew, luckily said nimekuwa na bad experiences, but there are things right now I wouldn't forego without contract, conversation. Have that conversation on email, not on phone. Because how many times do you speak to business people on phone?
I know.
Akurudie kesho, so ulisema?
No.
No. Then, if you're starting, if it's something you love, enjoy your job. The reason why I love my job, I think I tried 8 to 5 ikanilemea. 8 to 5 si kila mtu.
What were you doing in your 8 to 5?
I was in a consultancy firm, more of advertising. Did it for a few months. So si ati ni mbaya, but si kila mtu. The same way content creation si kila mtu. It is a business like any other business. So you'll need discipline at the end of the day. Not necessarily 8 to 5, but you'll still need to respect your job. Because if you joke with it, then you have yourself to blame at the end of the month. So what was I saying? Do what you love. If you're doing what you love, oh my God, utajipata 3 years down the line, bado sijai kanyaga kwa ofisi ya mtu. And there's nothing I enjoy as that. I enjoy just being able to do... Well, it comes over time, because pale ukianza stani nilikuwa na enjoy, I was feeling jobless. When we were starting, I was feeling... Nimeamka tu nikafanya video nikapost na nikakaa. When we were starting, I was feeling that way. Right now, I enjoy. I can work for 3 days, 2 days. Like now, maybe kona content here hadi next month. You can bulk shoot. Do this episode. So your YouTube channel is still, well, mine is dormant, but you have content every time that is premiering, you know? Because you've planned yourself. That is the best part that I enjoy most. So I can work for 3 days. 4 days do your house mom duties. 5 days do self-care. You know?
I know.
So if it is something that you love doing, hautalazimishwa na mtu kuifanya. Hata utakuwa unafanya kazi yako in 2 days in a week. Uko na content kibao. You see how people shoot TikTok videos and they save as drafts? Unashindwa mse anafanyanga hizi videos lini? Ni juu yake ana enjoy. So ile siku anafanya ana shoot videos mob. Atakuanga na content all through, but also consistency. And I struggle still with consistency up to date. It is hard to be consistent. Si rahisi. But I know for sure if you're consistent in whatever you're doing, one day it will pay off. Hata ukakuwa consistent na kungonganga. Guys, sorry guys, mimi ni Mkamba. Ukakuwa consistent na kugonganga hii ukuta, like
to calm down.
Claire ananichekea. Ndinda and Mombus cannot laugh because we are in the same village. Wakamba. Ukakuwa consistent na kugonganga hii ukuta, I'm sure at some point kuna tu kitu ita happen. Every day you wake up and knock it, whether with a hammer or with your what. Kuna tu kitu one day itaanza tu kutoboka ama. So consistency is hard, but with consistency, utafurahia. Utafurahi. Okay, I don't know if it's utafurahi. It's utafurahi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so be consistent kama ni kupika. Also, I know most of the people ask, nimeanza nitapataje hizi brands zinikujie?
Yeah.
I feel like when you're consistent, kuna tu siku moja video yako moja ita blow up. I love using Aziad's example. She was dancing all along.
Yeah.
But kuna tu ile video moja ilikuja manze.
Just pop.
And then because it's something she loved doing, she was still maintaining doing it. So you see, with consistency, with loving what you do, now the brands will come in.
Yeah.
Because hata sisi, we didn't know brands will come in. Ilikuwa tu for fun.
Yeah.
But when they came in, they are not forcing you to do what you love doing.
Yeah.
So you keep on doing you keep on doing what you love, brands zitakam.
Super.
Now usichoke.
Yeah.
But it's tiring, I won't lie.
It's tiring. It's tiring.
Imagine doing what you love for years na bado brand haijai kuja.
I know, exactly, yeah. I think those are some very good tips for people, not who are just entering the industry, but who have been in it. So I think those are good tips. So this has been She Means Business, and you've heard it from Celestine. If you're interested in something, you're passionate about it, just go for it. Consistency is key, and it takes discipline. Content creation is a job just like any other. And you've heard the money side. Look at your contracts, get somebody who's in the legal field. So until next time, this has been She Means Business. I have been your host, Claire Munde. Have a good one.